Hello, this is Nicholas Tanek from Your Kinky Friends, and we messed up with part two, so we're doing a part three. You can still see it, but I'm not gonna really like promote the part two. I'm gonna promote this, and we are with an absolute legend tonight. Oh my God, I love this woman. She she is from the Fluffy Boudoir, and she's from House of V. And we're going to talk about sissies and cross dressing and safe words and couples and why she doesn't see couples. And so please welcome the magnificent, the wonderful Dominatrix V.
G'day, g'day, g'day. Part two or part three?
Well, we'll call it part three. Part two would be like a lost episode.
Yeah. Have you still got it up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Dominatrix V, but some people call me Domina V. I've been working professionally for about 15 years now. I also run a sissy and cross-dressing service called the Fluffy Boudoir. I also specialise in fetish haircuts. I'm a qualified hairdresser and barberette. So at the moment, that's been keeping me quite busy. And I'm slowly getting new cross-dressers coming in, but I've just moved location, so it's a little bit further out from the city. Takes a while to get here, so it's a little bit hard to get to, but yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
All right, wonderful. So, anything new going on since the last time we talked?
I have had a couple of new clients come in for the Fluffy Boudoir, and we finally tried out the wedding dress that I had. I've got a size, I think it's a size 24 wedding dress that I brought back from the UK, and it's never been worn before, so we got a chance to wear that. I had another client come in and yeah, a newbie to cross dressing, so that was quite interesting. So at the moment, the boudoir is quite messy. That's why we're not in there. It's getting cleaned up as we speak. I'm trying out a new maid today, so we'll see how we go.
Oh, let's talk about maids. I have like a fetish for the French maid outfit, and I remember like when I was married, um, my wife said, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, all I want is you in a French maid outfit, garter belt, stockings, heels, and stuff like that. She's like, no, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. And she bought me a digital camera, and one of the things is, yeah, when you do that, the noise kind of gets a little crazy. So one of the things is that the cheapest French maid outfit's like $15, and the digital camera was about $100. So I'm like, you just spent $85 to not fuck me in a fun way. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
and then Christmas came along, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, "What do you want for Christmas?" I go, "All I want is to see you in a French maid outfit, garter belts, stockings, stuff like that." And she bought me this huge box, and I thought it was like this huge French maid kit or whatever. And I opened it up, and it was a TV, and it was a beautiful TV, which I still have after the marriage. And I thought, okay, this TV costs $1,000. This cheapest French maid,
Wow.
the cheapest French maid outfit probably cost $10 in a Halloween store and in around here, and the cheapest one. So that's like $9,090, $9,990 she paid to not fuck me in a kinky and fun way.
Wow. Okay.
So what do you? Okay, we'll talk about sissification and
Hmm.
hold on a second. All right, I hear I got a message that wait. I hear no echo. I hear no echo. So okay. So what is it? We'll talk about sissification. We'll talk about all that stuff. But what do you think is about the French maid outfits and the sissy maids that is so appealing to people?
Um, I don't know. I guess from my experience with the people that come to see me to wear that kind of outfit, I think it's all about the frills. It's the layers, how many layers you can put on. The colors, like pink, is very popular. The feel of the satin dress as well. The fact that they can prance around kind of all girly and, be a real sissy. I think that is the attraction there pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. Personally, I like the black and white one, like the classic black and white one. That's
Yeah,
just
I've got a few of those. Yeah, they're quite popular.
so now let's talk about sissification. It takes a lot of courage to kind of admit that someone wants to be sissified or or is a cross dresser, anything like that. So um, what's your advice for someone who's who's approaching you or just approaching a dom or a sissification um, dungeon, like, and they have no experience at all, like they've maybe been trying to do it in private, stuff like that, but they've never been around somebody. What is your what's your advice for that?
Oh, I mean, there are two sides of it. There could be a person who wants to get into the lifestyle, and then there's the other side where they're just a client. So, speaking from someone who wants to be in the lifestyle, dressed like that, I would probably recommend going to fetish munches. Do you call them munch
Yes, we call them
meetups?
munches.
Yep, munches. And no one actually dresses up because it's normally in a pub or in a restaurant. And I think just looking online in your area, in your community, to see what other groups are out there. There's always lots of groups. And I think you just got to start from the bottom and just work your way up. And if you don't get out of the house, then, no one's going to come knocking on your door, basically. You need to really get out there. Otherwise, you get old and before you know it, you'll be like, I wish,
Yeah.
and what ifs. You don't want to live that way. So I think the best way is to, and you don't even have to go out dressed. You just go out dressed normally to these meetups and munches. And yeah, you just need to meet people. I would prefer to meet people face to face because online it's just it's too hard for me because I already spend so much time online and you just don't know who you're talking to. So coming from a client's point of view, they basically go to our websites and look at our social media and they read. I think the more you've got on your website, the better, but not too much. Just, the basics and just to let people know what you do and hopefully they will contact that lady. And, meeting someone who does that kind of service, um, you probably won't meet the right person at the first time. It's like going to see a doctor or visiting a dentist, go see a hairdresser. You may not meet someone that kind of is on your level. So it does take time to meet someone, and yeah, also if you want to follow that ladies or whoever's providing the service that you like, follow their social media, maybe comment on their photos, likes, let them know that you're there, and send some messages. I don't know. It's I think everyone's different, but yeah, that's how I see it.
One thing I always because I know many DOMs who practice sissification with their subs and stuff like that, or who own subs or stuff like that. They get bombarded with messages on FetLife, on Facebook, on Twitter, all that stuff, on Tumblr, and it seems like a very lonely world. It's it seems like a very lonely world for someone who is into that, and they seem to become very desperate. So, what is some advice, like when approaching someone like you? What is some advice you can give them for that, just in etiquette wise?
Yeah, with etiquette, I mean, respect goes a long way. Manners as well. Um, Also, if you do plan to go out socially and say meet someone like me, and you want to approach me, I would probably do my homework and do some research online. And if you're on FetLife, there are so many groups out there and so many things to read on etiquette and how to and how not to approach a dom or a mistress. And it's common sense, really. Um, yeah, so if you're planning to talk to me, then the first thing would be if you could get my name right. If you can get my name right, then I will give you the time of day.
All right. So let's take through the process. Someone who is into it, who's maybe a closet crossdresser, who wants to be kind of sissified. How far do you go the first time? Like, what do you totally like? Yeah, how far do you go the first session?
How After the first session, how far do I go?
As in everything, like,
As in,
do you totally make them up? Do you peg them? Do you make them do things? Do you yeah? How far would you go during the first session?
how far I would go all depends on the amount of time they want to stay. So normally, when I see someone, it has to be from 2 hours because 1 hour goes really fast.
Especially with
Some
makeup and stuff like that. Yeah.
I know, right? But some can only stay for the hour. So, to do a full transformation, it can be done in an hour. That's if I don't talk, I don't say a word, and I just go for it. And I've already have an outfit picked out for them. I could do that. But because I do like to take my time, I kind of stop when I talk, and I give them some advice on what we're doing. Because it's the first time I've met them, so I try to ask them a few questions about how they got into the lifestyle, because I'm always really interested how people got into it all. Yeah, and that just takes time. Sometimes it will go over 2 hours, but I'm in a place where I don't have to look at the clock anymore, so it's not rushed. And yeah, that's what it depends on the amount of time. Um, a lot of them do want some play, because I have a service for cross dressing in the boudoir, or cross dressing and the dungeon. So that's two different services. It costs a little bit more to be in the dungeon as well because we're using 2 rooms. A lot of them do want strap on play, but if I've not met them before, I would say, let's get to know each other first. Let's see if we can get along, and if we both like the same things. And then next time we can continue on, with a play. But yeah, if it's the first time I've met them, normally it will be just the dressing. I like to see, what makeup I can put on them, how big they are, how small they are, a lot of things. So
Now,
yeah, it just depends.
most of the people who are into this, who come to you, is what kind of age range is it? I mean, is it like vast, anywhere from like 20 to 60, or is it mainly older men?
I have a mixture of men, but a majority of my cross dressers would be, say, 35 up. I do have a few much older men, which I really love to see because they're so funny, and they're always a good laugh, and you just have so much fun with them. I end up talking a lot about other things with them because obviously they've been around much longer than I have, but yeah, it's more interesting. Whereas with the younger generation, they don't really know what they want. They think they want to wear a dress and heels, but they really want something else, but they're not telling you. So it's like, you got to guess what they're thinking. But with the older clients, they know what they want. They've been doing it for a long time, and yeah, that suits me well.
I also think that, like I started, my story, right? And
Yeah,
I didn't start getting into the whole that like living the femdom thing until I was in my 30s, really. And it's like I felt, oh, you only live once. I'm getting older. I might as well have fun, and before I die. So
yeah.
so I'm trying. So there's one thing you do which is very, very interesting to me, and interesting to many of the other people, is that you give BDSM haircuts.
Yeah,
So
fetish haircuts.
fetish haircuts. Okay, so please elaborate on that. Tell us all about that.
A fetish haircut is where a client comes into the salon and all their fantasies are always different. So, for an example, one fantasy a client will come in with is being tied down to the barber chair. Um, Obviously, they will be naked. They have a cape on, and they just like to have their hair cut by a very dominant woman. Basically, there's a role play involved. And because a lot of my clients have partners, they're married, they obviously can't go home with a messy haircut because a lot of clients want corporal style haircuts where we just go for the clippers and just make a mess of it as a punishment. But a lot of the clients can't go home like that. So I do, because I am qualified over 20 years. So I actually do give them a proper haircut, a nice style cut. But yeah, I just incorporate all that with the session. I have a client in the UK. He has a cape fetish, and he bought me a whole heap of capes. So for our session, where I would put one cape, another cape, just keep going with the capes, and then taking them off again. That kind of thing. Um, I've got a client who likes a really hard corporal punishment haircut. So he's sitting on a very cold chair. It's got nothing to do with barbering. Sitting in a cell, and yeah, it's basically corporal punishment, and that would be with all his hair off. So yeah, they're all different.
I would think that there has to be a fetish for. I was watching Full Metal Jacket. I
All
was
right, yeah.
Yeah, and in the beginning, there's this sequence where they're just shaving the heads of everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fetish for like an army type situation,
Yeah,
or
that would be the corporal. That would be the corporal punishment.
okay.
Yeah,
All right, all right.
yeah.
So, all right. So, last time we talked, and on your website, you said you do not see couples. So,
Right.
tell us about that.
Okay. Well, just in the past, I used to see couples, and it all got so they all just seemed to be wanting the same thing. There was always a lot of alcohol and a lot of drugs involved. A lot of them will be out drinking before they come to see me, so they will already be intoxicated, and I refuse to see anyone in that state. But at the time, I was working at a house, and you can't really say no to because it is bringing money into the house. So yeah, basically the male partner would want me to partner up with his female partner, very sexually, very provocative, doing things to her, her doing things to me. And I don't do that with a normal one-to-one client. So, just because she's a female doesn't mean I'm going to do it as well. But yeah, it would become that way. So I've just not really had very good experiences with couples, so I've just sort of stopped doing them.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
how's the dungeon? House of V. Um, what are some like opening? I know people who run dungeons and they've opened dungeons and they got to keep it up. So, anything new? Like, and what challenges have you had recently?
Well, this is a private space. I don't rent it out to any other providers. I do share the space with someone else, and he's a cross-dresser and he is a lifestyler. And so we've just done up the house, and each room has a different theme. Um, but yeah, we just don't. I don't rent it out to anyone, but it is a lot easier to maintain because it's yours and you can do whatever you want with it. It's great because I can start filming again, whereas if working from an establishment, it's a little bit hard because you sort of have to, wait for people to leave the room, or you got clients coming in and out, and there's background noise. Whereas when you've got your own space, you're your own boss, and you just do whatever you want to do.
I would think because you run a because you run a sissification kind of school, I would think you would have like a French maid cleaning up, like a sissy just cleaning the place up. Did you ever think of that? Do you have that?
I have that.
You have that. Okay.
I have that. I have that every day. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
But he does work. Well, she works during the day, has a normal job, and but does come home and then cleans up the mess that I leave for him. She likes to cook me some nice vegan food, which is great. So yeah, I'm very blessed and very lucky to have that person in my life right now. Yeah, I'm very lucky because they're very hard to find.
I know. I live with my dom,
All
and
right.
there's like a bunch of clutter in the house in certain places, like my personal office, and I'm like, we got to just get a sissy maid. Just get a sissy maid. You don't have to do anything with them. Just have them just clean up, and
Yeah, they're very hard to find. Absolutely, they're just yeah, because a lot of them are just hard work. Um, I used to have my clients come in for the day, which is called Made for a Day. The fee would be a lot cheaper, much cheaper than coming in for just a 1 hour session. But basically, they would have already done a maid training first with me. And once they've completed the maid training, they're allowed to come in as maid for a day where there is no supervision, there's no session. I can just leave them and they know exactly what they have to do. If there's nothing for them to do, they know that they have to find something to do. So, yeah, they would be the clients that I would use. But then I thought, well, it'd be nice just to have someone who's there 24/7. And yeah, that's what I have right now. It's really good.
Now, like I was saying before, it could be very lonely for a man who's into cross dressing and femdom, and to find somebody who's into it. How did you get into it, and what about do you enjoy about the whole process of femdom, cross dressing, and sissification?
So how did I get into the industry?
Well, what I mean, obviously you're doing it. You know, you don't hate what you do. You do enjoy it. I'm not saying you're
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I'm not necessarily saying you're getting off on it all the time. You know, you're doing it for a job as well. But what? How did you get into it? And
Oh, okay.
and what is it that you like about it?
Um, okay, when I first started my mistress apprenticeship, which was a place called Salon Kitties, which closed down a while ago, um, I've always wanted to. I've always had a dominant streak. I'm Spanish, so I am, hot blooded, and I don't know. I've always had a very dominant personality all the time. Um, and yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do. Back then, I was working as a pole dancer, and I was also doing shows. My shows were very fetish orientated. Me always dressed up as, the dominatrix. And then it just started from there. I approached the house, Salon Kitties, and did an apprenticeship there. And then I moved on to another house. And that's how I started with the doming. With the cross dressing, when I was doing my apprenticeship, there were mistresses that didn't really enjoy doing cross dresses. They didn't enjoy seeing these type of clients, and they would sort of pass them on to me because being a hairdresser and makeup artist, the guys love that. They absolutely, they're on their hands and knees going, please do me up. So that's how I got busy with that. And it just started from there. Clients would like to see a lady who absolutely enjoys what she does, and I enjoy what I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. And with the fetish haircuts, that happened probably about over 12 months ago. I had a client approach me, and he found out I used to, I was working in salons, and that I'm a hairdresser, and he asked me if we could do that kind of session. I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. It'll be in the dungeon because, this will be the first time. So I brought along my clippers and all my scissors out of storage, and that's where it took off. I played his auntie, and he was my nephew, and that's where the fetish haircut took off. And then I went to another place, and I opened up a little wee space of a salon, and it just got busy, and it just took off. So I've sort of got my toes dipped in a few things.
All right. Okay. Cool. Wonderful. And what?
Did I answer your question properly?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely did.
Okay.
Maybe the second part is why do you enjoy it so much? Because, like I said, you are rare. There are many. There are some women who like professional dominatrixes who just do it for money. You know, there are some
Mm,
people, and there are some people like my dom who just love it. You know, and they just we don't live it 24/7, but like
yeah.
we'll do it. You know what I mean? So, like, what is it about it that you like so much, that you enjoy?
Um, what I really, really love about it is the diversity of people that you meet. Like, you just meet anybody, like, from all walks of life, and I'm a people person, and I can chat about anything, and I get along with pretty much anybody. And I don't know, I just the fact that it's very flexible. The job's very flexible. You can work your own hours. You know, you are your own boss. Um, I I'm very particular with who I see, so I don't just see anybody. It takes a while for once the emails have gone through and I've read your questionnaire, whatever. Um, then I sort of decide whether I want to see you or not. Sometimes we'll have a conversation, and I sort of go with my instincts, and I see what they write on my email, whether they address me right, whether they write a long paragraph, whether they write a few words. Just little bits of that is, to me, very important. So that side of things I really, really enjoy because I'm very particular, very fussy. I enjoy it obviously because I get to be me, and this is me. This is the way I like to dress every day. I love makeup, and I just couldn't see myself doing a 9 to 5 job. Though I have been down that road, and it's just not for me. I mean, this is a life. This is my lifestyle, and it's my career, and I'm always looking for new and better ways to improve what I do, how I film, how I say things. Just and I really enjoy that. I just love it. I love the filming side of it. I love to be in front of the camera, and I love editing. I do all my video editing and photo editing and everything. I just love everything about it.
Yeah, and I noticed the straight jacket.
This one,
Oh yeah, I when
my
I was
baby.
when I was the very first orgasm I had, I guess it was masturbation. I guess you can call it masturbation. I used to make my own straitjackets out of raincoats and belts, and I'd wiggle around on the floor and then be like, ah! I was like 12 years old or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I ejaculate, and I thought I broke myself. You know what I mean? I didn't
Ooh.
know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
So for Christmas, was it Christmas or my birthday? I think I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, my dom bought me a real like hardcore straight jacket, like
Wow.
yeah, yeah, like one like out of an institution. Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, the material ones, the white ones, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
Yeah.
This one was green. This one was green, but it
Oh,
was
green.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And I always had this like crazy fantasy about like being in a padded room in a straight jacket with garter belts and stockings, and just like multiple nurses just playing with me. You know, just
Wow.
and
That's great.
I was 13 at the time. I was
What? There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was a kinky kid, man.
Yes, you were.
So
Yeah,
okay,
I love leather. I do love leather, and when it comes to the jacket, I mean, it's really, really heavy, like so heavy. But it comes in handy. I've also got this one.
oh
That's
yeah.
I knew that was going to fall. This one. This one's a really good one as well. Put your
Yeah, you
arms behind your back.
put it behind your back, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you go on tour.
Yeah, I think I might be going on tour next month in July. I'll be going to just Adelaide. Just Adelaide at the moment.
Okay. And where can people find the dates on your website?
Yes, normally I will post them on my website and then straight to Twitter with all my updates and then the blog and then, yeah, that's where it all starts from.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I always ask this. I asked this in the last one. I'm going to ask it again. Um, you know, are you in a personal relationship right now?
No, I'm not.
So is being a professional dominatrix does that do you find that a hurdle in finding someone to relate to you, or to to commit, either in a monogamous or polyamorous relationship to you?
I choose to be single, so but it would be nice to be with someone. But being in this industry, it's not easy. I don't really get to socialize much, not these days anyway, and I would prefer to meet someone face to face rather than trying to go on a dating app and God knows who you're going to meet, because I can't put my face up on them anyway because I don't want them to know what I do. But yeah, it is hard, especially when I was in a relationship and they weren't in the industry. Um, it was kind of hard because you have to control jealousy issues as well. Let them know that you're not sleeping around with your clients or you're not going off with them, and that's pretty draining. I used to like just to go home and just chill out and not talk about my day or how many clients I've seen. But when I was with someone who was in the industry, it was a lot better. Um, they know that if you had a bad day, they would either say we can talk about it or we can just ignore it. They wouldn't, keep hounding you to find out what's wrong with you. But yeah, these days I choose to be single because I like to stay focused on what I'm doing at the moment. I'm sort of on a mission, so having someone there will just make me go, oh, put you away, and just because when I'm with someone, I like to give all my attention to that person.
I
Not
would.
in a submissive way, but I am a giver, and yeah, it's just hard to find people anyway. So you always get all these weirdos.
I totally understand that, and I would totally, if I was with a professional dominatrix, if I lived with them, if I was dating them, I would just be like, "Did you do anything cool today?" And they're like, "I don't want to talk about it." I'm like, "Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool. What do you want for
yeah,
dinner?"
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that would totally be my style, and that's the way I am now. It's the same thing. So okay.
yeah.
All right. The last time on the interview, you were wearing these gloves, these wonderful gloves, and
Oh yeah.
they're and we're starting to get into gloves. My my dom's not the big long ones, because we can't afford it, but but
Yeah.
my dom's I don't want to give too much, but she works in the, let's say, the health industry, and so she
Oh.
bought a whole bunch of these black gloves, and like they feel awesome to the touch, and there's something really sexy about them. So
Oh yeah.
what do you like, and what do you think attracts so many people about the gloves?
Good question. Um, those rubber gloves that you're talking about. Um, I don't know. I guess maybe the sound when you put them on. When I do my nurse fantasy sessions, I always play around with the gloves and I tease them and I put them on, and make that noise and put it on again, make that noise, wiggle my fingers in them just to show them, where my fingers are going, that kind of thing. I guess a lot of people just have different views about gloves. The smell of it, the fact that they're nice and clean, or they should be clean. Yeah, I don't know. Those rubber
And
gloves are pretty cool.
it just, gloves a lot, for some reason, in sissy porn, cuckold and sissy porn and stuff like that. It's like she's not the woman. I guess jerks off the sissy with gloves, and because she's wearing gloves, she's not like really touching them. You know what I mean? She's, so it's like there's that whole thing where it's like I'll be with other people and do all this stuff with other people, but I'm wearing gloves, to touch you.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we did this before, but I love doing this with everybody. Um, it's BDSM on a budget. I totally support high-end BDSM products and equipment and toys and corsets and outfits and everything like that. But not everybody has. Every time you touch this, every time you touch it, it goes like.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, so um, not everybody has the money, but they still want to be kinky. So, what is a BDSM life hack or a fetish life hack for somebody who doesn't have any money?
Oh, I would just say save. No. Oh, well, you can always. I guess it depends on what you're looking for. You can always find cheap rope from your local hardware store. Um, you can go to your local houseware stores and get cheap wooden spoons to use on the bottom. I don't have it here, but you could. I've got this. I use it as a pinwheel, but it's actually used for the gardening, I think. It's black and it's got a lot of spikes on it, and it's exactly like a pinwheel, but it's a lot harder on the skin. Um, I don't know. I guess, yeah, just checking out secondhand places, maybe. Um, what about some fetish markets where people sell their used things they don't want, or maybe going online? I know there's a few stores out there on people who sell their personal stuff they don't want anymore. You just got to sort of look around, and yeah, I think markets would probably be the best.
Okay, so now what about sissification? So there are cross-dressers out there. There are wannabe sissies. There are like full lifestyle sissies. And those dresses cost money. Like the nice ones cost money. Chastity devices cost money. Makeup costs money. So, do you have any?
Hmm.
Do you have any life hacks for sissies on a budget?
Okay, well, you don't have to go out and buy the latest makeup range, the most expensive, because it is quite expensive. And if you're just a crossdresser who very rarely uses the makeup, then there's no point in, spending all that money on it. Um, if you go to your local chemist, they've always got, I don't know what shops you have over there, but we've got places like Chemist Warehouse. I think it's called Priceline or Price Attack. They're like a chemist, but they've also got everything else in there. And they usually have cheaper brands like Maybelline and Rimmel and Max Factor. They're not as pricey as, the most expensive, like MAC. They're pretty pricey, but um, yeah, and just have a look and see what you can try to get a bargain, because a lot of places they sell things that are no longer going to be stocked anymore, and they just mark them down. So it's just a matter of just shopping around, really.
Okay, great. So, rapid fire recommendations, and they don't have to be kink related. We've played this before. So, recommend a movie.
Can I do the same as last time?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, last time I did two. I did do Kill Kill, Pasta Pussycat Kill Kill. That's
Oh,
one of my
yeah.
favorites. Yeah, that's a pretty cool movie. I did also recommend Preaching to the Perverted.
Love it. Oh, my God. I love Genevieve.
How can you not? But I want to
Yeah.
add one more. This is a pretty cool movie. It's called Tokyo Decadence.
Oh yeah. Oh
Have you
God.
seen it? It's
I
really
have.
good. I really love it.
Not
Yeah,
only
it's
that,
awesome.
but there's another one from I believe it's the same director called New Love in Tokyo, and
Ah,
and there is a dominatrix. It's about a prostitute and a dominatrix who are become friends, and the final scene is this guy is a dominatrix femdom scene, and she breaks him down, and it's awesome.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, check it out.
What's it called?
I believe it's called New Love in Tokyo. Yeah,
Oh, New Love in Tokyo. Okay, cool.
yeah. Tokyo Decadence is. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It
Okay,
is. It
all
is.
right. Recommend a book.
Well, the same as last time, I recommend Your Kinky Friends by Nicholas Tanek.
Oh,
That's a
thank
really
you.
cool book. Have you read it?
Yeah, I wrote it.
I know.
I
I
read
know
that.
you did.
I read that thing. I read that thing for like a year and a half. You know, so,
Yeah, it's a
over and
good
over.
book.
Oh, thank you.
That's one book I recommend. And the other one I recommend is The History and Arts of a Dominatrix by Anonymous.
Oh,
And
I gotta check that out.
if you go into page 196, you'll see me with May Chloe from England.
Okay.
So it's a pretty good book. And she's a really lovely lady, and she's involved in lots of things. You should check her
Okay.
out.
Recommend a song.
Oh, recommend a song. At the moment, I've been listening to a lot of music that has in it.
Wait, what?
OM.
Okay.
The when you chant om. So I
Yeah.
listen to a lot of that
Oh,
because
like
and also I listen to a lot of 432 hertz music.
monks.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like that, yeah. But the 432 hertz music is a kind of like vibrational music, and it sort of changes your mood and just does a lot of things. There's all different types of hertz, but I do enjoy 432 hertz.
Now, okay, this on a segue here. I'm please forgive me if I asked you this already. Do you use music in your sessions?
Oh, always, always.
What kind of music do you use?
Um, I sort of have a big playlist on my YouTube. I listen to a lot of kind of spiritual, motivational music, sounds of nature, sounds of the rain, just as a backdrop. Nothing with words in it. Nothing, where whoever I'm playing with will actually know what I'm playing. I don't want anything to distract them, and by putting on music with words, I don't want them singing to it while we're doing a session.
Yeah,
If you know what I
I
mean.
I
Um,
personally I like a lot of ambient instrumental ambient music.
Ambient, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
ambient, like chill out music, just something soft and flowy in the background. But it also depends on the style of session. If it's a heavy dungeon session, then the music would be a little bit more, a little bit harder, and it goes up and down. So I'd like to put playlists together, and also having the music in the background. It sort of tells me how long I've got to go in the session, because I know when the song's going to end. Rather than looking at a clock or actually having a clock in the room,
yeah.
I sort of go with my music. I go, okay, the song's going to finish in about half an hour. I've got half an hour session left, that kind of thing.
I think I might have mentioned this before, but Brian Eno has an ambient song called Ascent, and with parentheses an ending, and it's so fucking beautiful, and
Really?
it just and on YouTube there's an hour-long version of it, right?
Oh, I
And
have to check it out.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
it puts me right in subspace. It just
Oh, yeah. Nice, nice. What about Dom Space? We get into space too.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Dom space. Yeah, no, yeah. Because I get into subspace, my Dom gets like into Dom space. You know what I mean?
Oh
So,
yeah.
all
Oh cool. Well, that's great.
right. Recommend a meal.
Um, I love healthy cooking, healthy eating, so anything healthy, and of course, I am a vegan. I have been for a very long time. So anything vegan is good for me.
All right. Like, what's on your mind?
Okay. Um, I do love very crunchy vegetables. I hate
Ah,
soft vegetables. They have to be crunchy.
okay.
So
I
slightly cooked. I think that's called a macro diet, where you slightly steam them, but your vegetables, your broccoli, they're a little bit
great.
on the
Yeah.
crunchy side. Yeah, they still got the good stuff in it. I like to eat quinoa.
Ooh,
Do you know what
yeah. Love
quinoa is?
that stuff. Yeah.
Quinoa.
Got it in my
I
kitchen.
oh really?
Oh yeah.
I love to eat very basic, very easy. I don't have time to cook these days. That's why I have the maid. When she comes home, she cooks me beautiful little simple dishes, just enough to fill my little tummy because I don't like to eat too much.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge eater either. I like small portions. That's
Yeah,
just me.
small portions, definitely. I
That's
used
just me.
to eat like every 3 hours just to,
Yeah,
I
you
think
just
because I was
nibble.
more active, but now I'm not so active. So I've stopped eating because if I'm not hungry, I won't eat. Whereas before I used to eat because I felt that, it was after 3 hours or whatever, I had to eat. But now I just listen to my body and, I'm going to be 50 this year. Woo-hoo! So I have
Oh
to watch what I
my god.
eat. Yeah, September I'll be big 50.
Oh
Yay!
my god. You seriously, no joke. You look maybe 30.
Oh, thank you. No,
So okay.
I'm definitely not 30. I'm definitely not 30. And I'm glad I'm not 30 in this day and age. But yeah,
let's t-
I'm very happy.
let's talk about looks for a second because I have a friend named Mistress Cassie, and uh, she works out constantly on her body, and she tries to. She's around my age. I'm 43. And she's constantly working out and just trying to make her body. Is that a thing for you specifically to make yourself? Because personally, I think you are magnificently beautiful. You know,
Oh, thank you.
but
You
that's
should
just
see me without makeup.
I'm sure you look beautiful too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I look 20.
But is that something you specifically kind of work on? Because you are in an industry where looks, especially because also you're a hairdresser and makeup artist. Is that something that like you're very self conscious about, and that you like try hard to kind of just make sure, like how much effort do you put into it?
Oh, a lot of effort. You have to, especially, if you love to be in front of the camera and, you love to film and, you know, I don't believe in airbrushing. I might tweak the colors, but as far as airbrushing myself, I don't go there. So I like to look after myself. I've always have since I was young, and I do watch what I put in my body. I do have like one day a week where I'll have a junk food day, but that's just my body craving, certain foods. But I always like to eat well, and I enjoy eating well. I always bless my food before I eat it. Like you need to. Well, what I do is I don't eat in front of the television, or I actually concentrate on what I'm eating and I enjoy it rather than you know eating it
Because
so fast.
I'm so
But
guilty of
yeah,
eating.
I've always enjoyed eating. But as far as fitness goes, I mean, when I used to do pole dancing, that used to keep me pretty fit. But now, at the moment, well, for many years now, I've had problems with my lower back. So there are certain activities that I can't do. So I have the past 2 years I've been doing hot yoga, which is also
Oh,
called Bikram.
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. It's fantastic. I love it. You should
I've
try
I've
it.
been I've been I've been on a we got a bike, um, and it's right in front of the TV, and I just pedal and pedal and watch my shows.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. So, okay, you know the drill. You know the jar.
Oh, the jar. Here we go.
Yeah. So this is word association. You remember the rules. There are two rules. You say the first thing that pops in your head. Second, there's no kink shaming. So if I say something, just say not my thing. And this is off the top of my head too. But
Hmm.
Tangled Blue from your kinky friends. We have this crazy sense of humor. She sent me this
Yeah.
jar. I don't know what's in this
Okay.
jar. And so just say the first thing that pops in your head. Okay?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Corsets.
Nice and tight.
Yes. Straight jackets.
Mm. Leather, of course.
All right. All right. Latex.
Latex. Hot and bothered.
Knife play.
Oh, love it.
Fire play.
Fantastic. Bring it
Wax,
on.
wax play.
Messy.
Choking.
Choking. I won't say the same answer as last time, but choking. Be careful.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Pegging.
Pegging. Wonderful. Love it. Bring it on.
The St. Andrew's Cross.
St Andrew's Cross. Fiddly.
Okay. Munches.
I should go to.
Okay. All right. Fisting.
Fisting. Fisting is something that I really enjoy and I'm very good at.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And yes, my nails are short, so no,
Oh,
no, yeah,
you go,
no accidents there.
you going this way though, right? You don't go in that way. You go in this way, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. See, we learned something here at your kinky friends. Okay. The daddy baby girl dynamic.
Yeah, not for me. It's interesting, but yeah, not for me.
All right. Pet play.
Pet play, love it.
Splashing.
Splashing,
Yeah.
is that messy stuff you do with food? I've actually got a session coming up. It was meant to be this weekend, but it's postponed. And he wants a custard pie splashing type of session.
Oh. I heard.
So
I
that's going to
heard.
be interesting.
I heard blueberry pie is good too.
Nice.
Yeah. See. See, you learn something from me sometimes.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right, sissy maids.
Sissy maids need a lot of training.
Face slapping.
Face slapping. Um, face slapping. Wonderful. I love it. Can be
Oh,
dangerous if you not do it properly.
okay. The jar.
Oh, the
Spork.
jar here. Oh, didn't we have this before? Spork. I don't know what spork is. I think you told me last time.
Oh, it's like a plastic spoon, but with
That's
fangs.
right.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
spaghetti thing. Yeah. No.
yeah. No. All right.
Oh,
Boing.
boing, bing, boing, boing, goody, rabbit. Yeah, boing. Okay. We had this last time. You got the same ones in the jar.
All right. Beg.
Beg. What's my name again?
Dominatrix V.
Right, good.
All right. I, like I said, this gets absurd. Hurricane.
Hurricane. Wow. Mm, hurricane. Yeah, we don't get any of those here. Not that I know of.
Okay. Peen.
What? Peen?
Yeah.
P-E-E-N?
P-E-N.
P-E-E-N.
It's like short
Oh,
for penis.
P-double-E. Oh, is it? There you go. You little
Maybe,
penny. I didn't know that.
maybe
Peen. Okay.
little peenie.
I didn't know that.
Oh, this is good. Cape.
Oh, fetish. Bring it on. Yay.
All right. Violet wands.
Love them. I've got an old one. I told you before, it's not a vintage one. It's not working, but yeah, I can't wait to get it fixed.
I know someone who makes them. I could connect you.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh yeah,
Oh, but
Doctor
you mean
Clockwork.
they make them from scratch?
Yeah, he makes them from scratch.
Oh,
He could totally fix your Violet wand. Yeah.
is he in Australia?
No, he's not in Australia. He's in Florida. But I was at Test Fest and I was wearing a metal chastity device. And we went to his class. My friend Amy Mercury is dating him, and in front of everybody, in front of like 30 people, I took down my pants, and
Ooh,
my dom, showed my chastised cock, and
wow.
zapped me with it,
Whoa. I bet you loved that, didn't you?
kind of.
Kind of.
All
Maybe
right.
you just loved all the attention.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I'm attention whore. Yeah.
That's
Finger
it.
fingers.
Fingers? Did you say
Yeah.
fingers?
Yes.
Fingers? Yes. Fingers. Finger fucking.
Okay. Shock.
Shock?
Yes. Shock.
Shock. Electric.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know.
Piss play.
Peace play. Open up.
And finally, we come to the end. Scat.
Scat. Something that quite interesting, but yeah, I'm not into scat, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not either, but I always ask. Anyway. So,
Yeah.
oh my God, Dominatrix V. I absolutely adore you.
I
Please.
adore you too.
Oh, thank you. Please promote. Take this time to promote everything you want. All social media, any events, any tour dates, anything you got, go.
All right. Well, I am planning to visit Adelaide in July. Dates will be confirmed very soon. Okay, so I've got the Facebooks, I've got Instagram, I've got YouTube, and all you've got to do is put in House of V Fetish Studio, and you will find me pretty much, or Dominatrix V.
Definitely. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please stay on the line just for a couple seconds. Everybody out there, follow me on Twitter at Nicholas Tanek. I'm at Nicholas Tanek, or I'm at Nick Tanek on Instagram. I'm Nicholas Tanek on Facebook. And then there's also Friends Kinky on both Instagram and on Twitter. There's the YKF site on Facebook, and then there's the Discord group. Just find me. You look me up, you'll find me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Oh
just ask Google, right?
yeah. Oh my God, it's getting late, my friends. My
Oh,
dom
is it
is
past your bedtime?
Yeah. My dom is
Mm.
calling me. Remember the final rule: be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Have a great
Peace.
have a great night.